Aloha, this is Ron Margolis with eXp Realty and the Margolis Team, coming to you from the beautiful Garden Island here in February of 2019. And I wanted to talk a little bit about today about Kauai, the state of Kauai, and what are some of the current issues for us as a community of Kauai. Had a chance to listen to a conversation with our new mayor, Derek Kawakami. In fact, if you'd like to hear it, you can download the HPR app on your smartphone. And if you go to On Demand, just look for the conversation and you can hear his full hour interview. Looking back on 2018, of course, probably the largest issue of the year were the floods that damaged the North Shore, a small neighborhood in Kaloa on the south side, and Anahola. And here, 8 months later, those communities are still recovering from that incident. On January 3rd, in fact, the new mayor issued the 6th iteration of an emergency proclamation, which extends the flood relief process. And part of that emergency rule prohibits the operation of transient vacation rentals on the north side of the island, on Lumahai, Wainiha, and Haena areas particularly. And of course, for the folks out on the northern side of the island that depend on their vacation rental revenue, it's a very challenging time. On the flip side, the sentiment of the new county government, there seems to be a very strong focus not only on housing, but really clamping down on the enforcement of illegal vacation rentals. And recently they issued a $130,000 fine to an operator by the Wailua River who had been operating an illegal vacation rental. So if you're someone that's thinking about getting property here on Kauai with the idea of renting it short term, which would be in Hawaii anything shorter than 6 months, I strongly encourage you to make sure it's a legal vacation rental. You may not know that 1 in 8 homes on Kauai is a vacation rental. And the property sees that as something that contributes to the high price of housing and destroys our communities. I don't necessarily agree with that. However, the county's strategy is to get much stricter on enforcement. And in terms of affordable housing, one of the ideas the mayor spoke of in this radio interview was the idea of leasing county or state land to large developers so that they can defer those costs and bring in housing that's much more affordable, that's much more relatable to the median income of a household here on Kauai. As we go into 2019, we still have 3, relatively new or really new projects. Down on the South Shore, the folks from Brookfield continue to build out Pili Mai, and those are some of the nicest, most modern condos that run along the Kiahuna Golf Course. And the 2-bedroom units there are running in the 700s, the 3-bedroom unit in the 800s. On the east side, D.R. Horton continues to build out their project in Hanamaulu, and that's probably some of the most affordable housing on the island in terms of new construction. The homes are in the $500,000 range, and these are large 3- and 4-bedroom homes, although on small lots. And up on the North Shore, of course, we have the North Shore Preserve, which is a swath of land owned by Jeff Stone and the Princeville Corporation with a spectacular lots, one-of-a-kind, mind-boggling views of Hanalei Bay and Valley High and a vast, wide-open ocean view, and these lots will be selling in the $5 and $6 million range. Last year was a very successful year for tourism for those people with vacation rentals. Tourism was up 9.2% last year, and that's the highest level in 25 years here on Kauai. The flip side, of course, of that success is over-tourism. And that's a word that's been in the news a lot towards the end of last year. There are more tourists here than our infrastructure can support. So the focus on improving our roads and improving our wastewater systems to be able to support more visitors or find a way to minimize the number of visitors coming to the island. An example of that point would be the airlift into the island. In fact, Southwest Airlines launched their first certification flights earlier in the month of February. And as soon as they're finished with that process, you'll be able to get affordable flights, I imagine, from Southwest. And for those of you with Southwest frequent flyer miles, it might be a great opportunity to get an inexpensive or free trip to the islands. And the county doesn't really have control over that. So that's part of the challenge and one of the drivers behind the county needing to improve infrastructure and roads and traffic and wastewater systems and so on and so forth. So those are some of the key items happening here for those of us that live on the Garden Island full-time. Hopefully you'll visit us soon, sometime in 2019, and like to get together and talk about Kauai, answer any questions. You can consider me your Kauai concierge. And if you have an interest in real estate, either buying, selling, or investing, my team, the Margolis Team, would love to be of service to you. So until we meet again, this is Ron Margolis, eXp Realty, with the Margolis Team, saying a hui ho from the island of Kauai, and look forward to our next get-together. Aloha!